Why don't you look at the map?
No,
Why not?
because that's exactly what they expect us to do. I've got it right here. If I look at it, can you make any heads or tails?
No,
out of
I can't. We are literally lost in Olympic National Park.
We could have been attacked and killed by bears. We could have starved to death.
There could have been mushrooms.
There is nothing wrong with your video stream. We are controlling your feed. Sit quietly and experience the awe and mystery from the outer limits of the open road.
Rough road ahead. It's the story of my life.
Pretty fascinating tree. Such a cool root system. So the sun is shining this morning. I'm pretty happy about that. Yesterday was a pretty gloomy day in the northwest. We are in the Olympic National Park and headed to the Hoh Rainforest Visitor Center and the Hall of Mosses. I feel like you can't go wrong with a whole hall of mosses. So I have no idea what to expect, but I expect good things. Do you expect good things?
I hope so.
Because we've come all this way. We are camping at the Calalot campground, which is very beautiful. It's right on the ocean. A number of the spots are literally right on the ocean, but their dump is closed, so we're in a bit of a pickle. This is our 5th day boondocking or dry camping, and we are in desperate need of a dump. So pardon the dirty talk, but we need to find a place to get rid of our poop. So we'll be looking for that today as well. So far, this scenery just really reminds us a lot of Michigan. Most of it, you're not seeing the ocean as you're driving along, so it's just like driving in the Upper Peninsula or the upper part of Michigan. The trees strike me as a little bit taller, but still basically the same types of trees and the same vibe as good old home ground. This time I get a turned on route, of course. Have a knack. Oh my gosh, beautiful. We've seen some moss.
We've seen lots of tourists. There's a lot of people here
It
today.
is super busy for it being a shoulder season, and we're pretty early in the year, but yeah, so I'm glad we're getting here when we are getting here. It's a bit of a muddy mess though. Here we have some creatures. that came to life out of moss. We're in Forks, Washington, and there's really not a whole lot going on, but this does strike me as a somewhat Twilight sort of a phone situation here. Are you enjoying some free Wi-Fi?
I am enjoying some free Wi-Fi.
Sometimes you just gotta, get your free Wi-Fi where you can. Like at a timber museum. It's a very large logger. This guy. To get to this beach, you have to climb over some driftwood. So fortunately, some nice lady gave me this awesome driftwood stick that I use to help climb over. So once I get back over on the other side, I either pass it on to the next person, it goes back, or it goes back to the beach. Driftwood. There's little tiny ones here, and then they get bigger, and there's big ones. That's a big one. They start small, and they even get smaller, and then they get bigger, and bigger, and bigger as you go down the beach. That's completely unique. I've never seen anything like it. Goodbye, stick. You served me well. Does the ocean ever settle down? It's not like Lake Michigan. We're used to that where, you have wavy, windy days and then you have calm days, but the ocean on the Pacific side always seems angry.
Yeah, and there's always a lot of wind coming off the water.
Yeah.
Sunsets were gorgeous.
Yes, true. And I think the only time we've actually been in the water is more down towards Los Angeles. But everywhere, Oregon, Washington, California, Northern California, it just seems like you would die immediately if you tried to go into the water. It just seems very wavy. The big ticket item was the Hall of Mosses in the Hoh, I assume that's how you say it, the Hoh rainforest. So you had to drive quite a bit down into the rainforest to get to the Hall of Mosses, and that was very interesting. It started out sort of low-key. There's some moss, so you're taking pictures of some mosses because that's pretty cool, and then when you get deep into it, then suddenly it just sort of opens up and everything is insanely moss covered.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. Never been to the Northwest before, and you hear that there's
first time,
so you hear that there's a rainforest, and every time I think of rainforest, I think of something like the Amazon. The trees are so huge.
Right, the trees are a lot larger out west than they are by us. Yeah, that Hall of Mosses, it was so interesting because moss was covering everything. So basically, if trees or branches fell down, they were immediately covered by moss. And so when you came up to it, it looked like there were all these creatures and they looked alive in the moss. And I don't know about you, but I saw basically a giant crocodile. I saw one that looked sort of like a wild boar. I saw one that looked like a giant lounging lion, and just a lot of interesting characters that you could see in the moss covered logs and branches.
Is this where you saw the banana slug?
No, actually that was in the Redwood National Forest, but they did have a sign there with information about banana slugs, so I know that they have banana slugs out in this area as well, and that is a cool slug. I think we did see someone else seeing a banana slug, but we'd already seen one, so we were good on the banana slug department. The internet was absolutely horrific, and I knew it was going to be bad out on that Olympic Peninsula. There's just not a lot out there. It's pretty remote, but it was Deadsville. We were completely cut off from civilization the whole time we were at the campground.
Yeah, the map, the Verizon map shows that it's a nice solid red LTE. You should be able to get 4G service.
That's just at Bob's house.
Yeah, it was just at Bob's house if he was, hooked onto the fiber network going to his house.
This could actually be a map of Michigan forever on the tree, except Lower Peninsula lost its thumb. Wow, the inside of this tree is just deeply scarred by fire.
A relief. I wasn't sure we were ever going to see our camper again.
I'm not really sure that is our camper.
Oh, we could have traveled through like a wormhole, possibly.
Somebody could have a truck that looks just like ours with a camper that looks just like ours.
And they've been to all the same places we've been to. That's the weird part.
I know. Who is following us so close?
Oh my God.
We could have been attacked and killed by bears. We could have starved to death.
There could have been mushrooms. Moss was growing really rapidly, but we found our vehicle. We did have to ask somebody.
So that's Canada over there?
Yeah, the big mountains in the It's the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It shows a nuclear submarine over in there.
Sure that's not a whale?
And nuclear submarine and dolphins of some sort. I guess it's showing you what it would look like. If you see one of those, it's a nuclear sub.
Okay, as
And
opposed
then-
to a whale.
Right. We are casino docking here in Sequim, Washington at the Seven Cedars Casino. And you can see they've got a really nice large parking lot. They welcome RVs. Nice restaurant, really great people, and the coolest thing is they have free electric and water at quite a number of the sites if you get here early enough. You really can't beat that deal. You just go in and sign up for their casino card, and then you get discounts, and they could not have been nicer. Had a great night here.
Get out of town, see the beautiful world around.